Hello guys, welcome to another session. So in this session, I'll be discussing one of the most important classical sociological theories. That's Max Weber's theory of Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism. See, this theory is not just a study of religion or economy. Rather, I would say it's a path-breaking methodological demonstration that showcases how micro level individual meanings and motivation shape a macro level social structure like capitalism. The individual's meanings, motives, interpretation that led to capitalism. That's exactly what we are actually going to discuss. So here in this theory, I'll be demonstrating how he used ideal types, how he used comparative analysis and everything at the end of the session. Okay. So you see, Weber actually raised a powerful sociological question. Why were the most successful leaders and innovators of modern capitalist Europe predominantly Protestant? That means look at these people, these are mostly from Protestant. So is there something that this particular religion have to deal with capitalism? Was this just a coincidence, or is there a deeper connection between this particular religion or the ideals of this religion, the Protestantism and capitalism? So he's trying to establish that connection. And in this lecture, we will analyze how Max Weber answered this through the method of ideal types, the way he constructed the ideal types of Protestantism and capitalism, and how he made a comparative, historical comparative analysis. And also, he is demonstrating something which I always discuss about Weber, that's causal pluralism, causal probabilism, right? So, here, what you need to focus is ideal types, classical exhibition of that, causal pluralism in terms of spirit and substance. You will understand that later, and a historical comparative analysis. Okay. So that's all what I want to cover in this theory. Now let's start with Weber's central observation and the question. See, in modern Europe, most of the business leaders, the capitalists, the skilled professionals, all were Protestants, not Catholics. So this actually led Weber to explore whether there is a causal relationship between Protestant values and the emergence of capitalist spirit. So I always, this is establishment of cause and effect relationship. Sociology definition itself, Weber is talking about in terms of establishment of cause and effect relationship, right? So he's trying to establish that only. So here, when you get a question on that methodological approach, if they are stressing on that, he used ideal types, he used causal probabilism or pluralism, and also historical comparative analysis. And ideal types is actually a conceptual tool to construct the simplified models of a complex reality. We discussed that in detail. So what he did is he built or constructed the ideal types of both Protestant ethics, that's focusing on Calvinism, which is the most elementary, simple form, and then also the spirit of capitalism, focusing on the modern rational capitalism. So he constructed the elements of both and he made a comparative analysis. So let's look at the ideal types of Protestantism. See, Calvinism, developed by John Calvin, formed the core of Protestant ethic in Weber's analysis. So the key elements here are own glory of God, which means God is unknowable, no priest, no church can mediate. So God is unknown, right? So own glory of God. That's the first ideal type. Then doctrine of predestination. Only selected few are predestined to reach heaven. Your destiny is already selected also, and no one can know if they are chosen. So that will actually create a kind of existential anxiety among the people. I'll tell you how this lead to some more spirit. It creates some spirit. Okay. Now again, third one, if I talk about that, this worldly asceticism. So own glory of God, and then doctrine of predestination, and then this worldly asceticism. So it's like life must be lived with self-discipline, denial of pleasure, and hard work. I'll connect it with capitalist values later. Okay, and then the fourth one, notion of calling. See, every work is considered sacred. It's a divine calling. Work has to be done with devotion. One must be devoted and efficient in their work. So if I'm a teacher, it's a kind of notion of calling, right? It's a divine calling. I'm destined to become a teacher and I have to be devoted to this profession. And I have to be maximum efficient in that and have to commit to this 100%. So these are the ideal types of Protestantism. Now let's look at the ideal types of spirit of capitalism. See, Weber distinguished between traditional and modern capitalism. He focused on the rational modern capitalism, which is characterized by first unlimited profit accumulation. So basically capitalism aimed to continually reinvest and grow wealth. So unlimited profit accumulation, that's the first one. And then wealth is not for enjoyment. So profit should be there and profit is to be used for productive reinvestment and not for enjoyment, not for luxury, not for pleasure. And there are various ethics and values also, like time is money, work is worship, individualism. Capitalism favors and promotes individualism, hard work, innovation, and discipline. These are the core virtues of capitalism. Again, worker becomes a means to an end. That means efficiency has to be there. So now itself, I hope you can connect it with the elements that I have discussed with Protestant ethics and this capitalism also. So I hope you got the elements very clearly. Now is going for comparative analysis. He got that elective affinity. So Weber found that elective affinity, which means a deep non-cash, causal relationship. So, or alignment between Calvinist ethic and the spirit of capitalism, which you can say. So how? No, that's the question. So let's start with Protestant ethic on one side and capitalist on the other side. Predestination, your destiny is already decided. So that create anxiety, right? So now, see, if you need to know whether you are destined or you are chosen by God to enter into heaven or not, then if you are someone who have been chosen, you must be successful in this world. So you want to become successful, so you start doing a lot of hard work. Okay, so that way you start doing hard work because you want to become successful in this world. That is an indication that you are someone who has been chosen to enter into the heaven in the next world also. So automatically, if you look at the capitalist values, hard work as a symbol of salvation. So here, since there is a doctrine of predestination, you need to be successful here. So you are going to work hard, and that capitalist value also now that is matching, right? Here you are doing hard work, and capitalist value is also related to hard work. And then again, asceticism that actually promotes savings, reinvestment, growth, etc. The notion of calling. So you treat work as sacred and efficient labor and all those things. Individualism that promote innovation, profit motive, and all those, right? So the anxiety which is created by the predestination that led the Calvinists to seek signs of salvation, and that means you are getting that worldly success. So hard work and profit are actually seen as a divine approval. That means you are someone who has been chosen by God. Let me show you if I have a PDF. Cool. Okay, I hope you can see the screen. So here it goes like this. A doctrine of predestination, this arrow. Okay, doctrine of predestination. So that's the point, and which means you don't know whether you have been chosen by God or not. So heaven or not, that lead to insecurity and tension in the minds of the followers. So that lead to feeling of anxiety, loneliness among the followers. Then what happens? As a result, you start doing hard work, intense worldly activity. As success was taken as an indicator of being chosen or not. So you start doing the work. Now this acted as the spirit, right? But this alone is not enough. Weber talk about causal pluralism. So multiple other factors also was present. What are they? That in terms of this worldly asceticism and notion of calling that promotes savings, reinvestment, devotion. And then at that point of time, new factory system have emerged, new accounting techniques, new tools and machinery, new political system. All these acted as the substance. So if you see spirit come from this hard work and this worldly asceticism, the notion of calling. So this acted as a spirit, right? So this acted as a spirit, and substance was present in terms of material aspect. So that's what new factory system, accounting techniques, and all those things. So spirit and substance. This is something which you need to explain very clearly. Okay, so I hope you got the idea. All right. Now, see, here, Weber is talking about the Protestantism gave the spirit or that ideological push to capitalism. But capitalism, to emerge, the substance that is also required. Substance here, I mean by material and structural condition that has to be there. That's what I have explained in terms of that new factory system, new accounting techniques, the democratic political system that give the freedom, that allowed freedom and enterprise and everything. So, spirit on one side comes from that Protestant values, but substance on the other side, both together came, and that was necessary for capitalism to rise. So that's the reason. That's how he is connecting. And again, he went for a historical comparative study for Chinese religion, the Confucianism, and then India, Judaism also. So when he talk about China, Confucius religion, substance is present, like very good trade, well developed trade and economy and other things, population and everything is there. But what happened is Confucius ethics, that spirit is not there. The spirit is absent. Substance was present in China, spirit is absent. So in Confucius ethic, they promote traditionalism, family obligations and duty, collective harmony. So there is no drive for that profit motive. So the spirit was absent, substance was present. In India also, Hinduism, substance was present because very well developed economy, skilled labor, trade and other things is there, but spirit was absent. Hindu, they believe in karma, dharma, punarjanma. That again encouraged other worldly asceticism, not this worldly activity. So similar to China, in India also substance is present, but not the spirit. Spirit is absent. So India, China, spirit is absent, substance was present. Judaism, if you see, spirit is present, work ethic, business traditions, and everything is there when it comes to Judaism. But for them, substance was absent. Why? Because due to a lot of historical factors, the persecutions and dispersion of Jews. So there is no structural support. There was no material support. So China, India, spirit was absent, substance was present. Judaism, spirit was present, substance was absent. So this cross-cultural comparison validated Weber's theory also. So you see, only where both spirit and substance coexisted, capitalism flourished. And Europe, if you see at that point of time, substance is there, and Protestantism actually gave that spirit also. Now he's also talking about this unanticipated consequences and reifications we can discuss. Weber also observed that Protestantism that triggered capitalism in terms of spirit, but capitalism eventually became autonomous and functioned without religious backing. Right, so that was the trigger, but without religious backing also that's functioning. So this is an example of unanticipated consequence. That means people's intentions leading to outcomes beyond their purpose. Okay, I hope you got the point. So this is a clear-cut example of unanticipated consequences. Your intention that lead to outcomes that's beyond your purpose, their purpose. So it also led to the sociology of reification, where this question was asked actually before. The structure become detached from their original meaning and began to dominate the individual lives. So sociology of reification, where the structure becomes detached from their original meaning and begin to dominate individual lives. Okay, so see again, despite tracing its roots, Weber was not uncritical of capitalism. He also warned that it may produce, specialist without spirit, sensualist without heart. So capitalism might reach to the highest level of material achievement, but may lack spiritual and moral depth. So Weber is also talking about that. Now, if we want to criticize, we can talk about Benjamin Franklin's criticism, then Catholic Protestant comparisons you can make. H.M. Robertson, both traditions emphasize similar virtues during 16th and 17th century. Then why only in Protestantism, right? Again, pre-Protestant capitalism you can talk about Amint or Fanfani. So talking about capitalism existed in Europe before the Protestant Reformation also. Then a reversal argument you can give by R.S. Tawney. So capitalism influenced Protestantism, not vice versa. Okay, in fact, Marx also talking about the same. Religion create capitalism. But Weber says Marx says capitalism create religion because religion is the opium of masses. Religion is part of superstructure. So economic infrastructure creates superstructure. But Weber take a different stand, reverse stand. So Tawney also talking about the same. And Benjamin Franklin says, in fact, it's actually discussed by Tony Dixon, argue that, Weber misread Franklin's ideas as moral imperative rather than pragmatic advice. I've given this PDF in detail and just go through that paragraph where I've mentioned that in detail. Criticisms, I'll discuss separately as a critical analysis, guys. Anyway, so to conclude, Max Weber's theory of Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism, that definitely stands as a landmark study in sociology, and that actually offers deep insight into how religious belief influence the economic behavior, right? So beliefs, the individual beliefs, how it shaped capitalism. So by using this ideal types and then causal pluralism, historical comparative analysis, and the concept of elective affinity, the coincidence, right, connection, Weber actually demonstrated the complex interplay between the ideas and the structures, the Protestant ethic and the capitalism. See, this theory is not without criticism. Of course, I have discussed the criticism, but its value lies in, showing us how subjective meanings that shape the social actions and how macro level structures emerge and exist and continue from micro level motivations. So if I want to go for a quick recap, Protestant ethic means we are talking about from Calvinism, right? Predestination, asceticism, notion of calling, etc. Capitalism, if you talk about the spirit, rationality, profit driven system with strong ethics, I've discussed already. Then he identified that elective affinity, which means alignment between Protestant values and the capitalist group. Then we talked about spirit and substance. This acted, the Protestant ethic acted as the spirit, but conditions which are necessary for existence of capitalism was there at that time in terms of substance, like new factory system, accounting practices, and other things. Then we also discussed about the historical comparison with China, India, Judaism. China, India, spirit was absent, substance was present, but in Judaism, substance was absent, spirit was present. Historical factors scattered Jews, right? And then capitalism, though it started with religion, but then it became independent. So that's where I discussed about sociology of reification. And then Weber was also critical of capitalism, that we discussed as in terms of spiritual emptiness. And then the multiple criticisms that we discussed. So that's all what I want to discuss, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you are looking for any mentorship program or test series on sociology, one-to-one discussions, the details are given in the description. Check out that and you can get in touch with us. So see you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much.